class commence the education more from within and less from without, that is from me. So go for protocol sanitizations, understand the concept to the extent possible in given time, the idea, concept, process, purpose, the protocol, the sanitizations, the commencements, the preparatories. Do not just carry out the actions, try to understand the concepts. The conceptual aspect is important. Back home, you can decipher that with a greater time, energy allocations. I won't be able to allocate much time. So understand the protocol for it to be yoga, that is composite, collective, integrated, interwoven, intertwined, needed, unified dynamics. So you'll figure out more than you doing it. It's an orchestration, the internal society, internal community is orchestrating the process. So more than you doing, the universe is doing. Try to figure out your role when they are doing. So profound exhalations to flush out the temporality, mundanity, worldliness, personal gravities, personal delimitations. To understand it is not so much a respiratory exhalation, but it has certain other functions mentioned by the science of yoga and not by modern science. Silent utterance of Om, find out at what point in time should it come and why. So in education, the why is more important than what and how. Today, the yoga is only non-educative subject, so what and how is important. The why is nominally important. Oh. 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 Yogena chittasya padena vacham balam sharirasya cha vaidyakena Gopakarotam bravaram munina Patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Bahu Purushakaram Shankha Chakra Siddharinam Sahasrashirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hari Om. So you head down to the heart and surrender there with exhalations. Drop the palms and open the eyes. Perhaps the last class is gone into oblivion. But I have a cord with the last class. You don't have it. So last time we did an exercise that in every exhalation, the Uddiyan Kriya should be attempted, possibly completed. Without completing the exhalation, with a given exhalation, Kriya should be completed. So we are going to have further exploration of that exercise today. So you'll have continuous breathing, normal voluntary breathing, but during the exhalation, along with exhalation, you have to introduce the Uddiyana Kriya. So although exhalation is not complete, the Kriya should be close to completion. If it is completed, well and good. That won't happen today. That won't happen in a couple of weeks and months and years. So there are two kinds of Uddiyan. Is one to exhale completely and accomplish Uddiyan. But there is another way that exhalation, although not complete, the Uddiyan Kriya is close to completion. So we economize on exhalation and get the Uddiyan Kriya. Like a person can get same return by financial prudence, economic prudence. Those who don't have it, they spend more than what they should, and they get what they want. But there are people who can spend less and get what they want. That is economic prudence. So in pranayam, we also have to learn this economy of breath. Just deep and complete breathing every time is not essence of pranayam. That is in the beginning phase, we try to exhale more and more and more, inhale more and more and more, and we think that is pranayam. That you should be able to exhale more and more and more and more, inhale more and more and more and more. That is lack of prudence. For me to have comfort, I must have unlimited resources. And then I will be getting contentment. But that is not prudence. Prudence is that you will get what you expect, although you are economizing in expending the resources. So pranayam gives great stress, great importance to economy aspect. Not necessarily that you must be inhaling, increasing the capacity to inhale more, increasing the capacity to exhale more. So there are two kinds of Uddiyan. One is to exhale profoundly to the extent possible and then complete the Uddiyan. The other one is exhaling close to normal voluntarily, because you have to carry out the Uddiyan, so it's a voluntary exhalation. So you are not trying to exhale more and more and more and more and more to complete Uddiyan, but given exhalation, you have to try to complete the Uddiyan Kriya. So this is one of the basic exercises. So in education, educative process, this is how it is done, imparted, instructed. Otherwise, you think you have to increase the capacity to exhale and capacity to inhale. And then you will get pranayama. With the given resources, you have to accomplish something. What is accomplishing? Uddiyan Kriya, which is qualified to go for mudra. So we are not going to do that. We are not going for mudra. Just the Uddiyan Kriya accomplished, close to accomplishment, maybe 90%, 80%, whatever, 85, 80%, without spending corresponding exhalation. Otherwise, you can spend 100 rupees and get worth 100 rupees. That's not prudence. Spending 70, 80 rupees and getting worth 100 is a prudence. We follow. So understand this dimension of pranayama. It's not just to increase the capacity to inhale and exhale, and then you will say you are qualified for pranayama. Anyway, now you will settle down in a supine position. Baddha Padmasana if you can do with a belt. Supta Virasana or Baddha Konasana. That is not possible for you. Some of them have written off. Supta Virasana, Padmasana, written off for lifetime. In that case, you can go for Baddha Konasana. Quickly, have a belt as a fastener in Matsyasana. Right foot to left foot should be hooked. Belt, that's not a way, Ali. That is your way. Analog. One belt. Looping the right foot and left foot from behind, like Baddha Konasana. Belt from behind, like Baddha Konasana. If you can do Matsyasana. Otherwise, Supta Virasana. And then last resort, Baddha Konasana. Thank God, Baddha Konasana is still that much bountiful. Quickly settle down. That anybody and everybody can go for Baddha Konasana. That's why it has become bad Konasana. Because any Tom, Dick, and Harry does. Quickly settle down. You may use a bolster or can do without the bolster. You are going to do one way. It entails that you must do all possible ways back home. If you are doing without bolster, you should know you have to do with bolster, across, along, with pillow, with other supports, possible whatever possible supports. You are doing in one position, you should back home do in all possible positions. Settle down. Now, listen, what you are going to do is that you are going to, it will take some time for you to settle down in body matters, mind matters, breath matters. You have to correlate them. You have to relate them to each other. Then after a while, you will take recourse to voluntary normal exhalation. It might be marginally more than normal mechanical normal or involuntary normal. It will be marginally more. So voluntary exhalation, do with a gush, do with a flush. So that volume should be close to normal, but you can add to velocity of exhalation and then try to complete your Uddiyan Kriya along with your exhalation. Then inhale. Inhale and recover, become resourceful, become prepared, and second exhalation. Uddiyan Kriya commenced and close to accomplishment. Then inhale, recover, get resourceful, become resourceful. So you can condition the inhalation. You can also do the inhalation maybe a little slower than normal. You can perhaps do the inhalation deeper than normal. because you have to become resourceful for following exhalation. So you are going to condition the inhalation for the following exhalation to be resourceful. So I'm not saying normal inhalation. It's normal inhalation means it understand it qualitatively. It will be slower, maybe in stages, maybe help you to recover, refresh, revamp, become resourceful, and then launch your normal exhalation, voluntary normal exhalation, but flush type. So with a flush type, you will have better facility to complete your Uddiyan Kriya. Normal volume exhalation, but I am not saying normal velocity exhalation, because you have to accomplish your Uddiyan Kriya to the extent possible. Therefore, it will be a little thicker, but I'm not saying exhale further and further and further and further and accomplish your Uddiyan. So I want you to do this successively. I want you to do successively. Find out what is the size of the cluster. Are you able to manage 7, 8, 10 cycles? If you need a break, you can take a break. If you don't need a break, don't take a break. Recover, try to recover in the very inhalation. Become resourceful in the very inhalation. Become qualified, capacitated by the inhalation. So inhalation is modified, but this is not inhalative pranayam. It is inhalation for exhalation. So understand the difference between inhalative pranayam and exhalative pranayam. Here it is the inhalative for exhalative pranayam. It should be done to complement, assist, capacitate, empower. The exhalation, which is going to be close to normal in volume, but however, velocity is thicker. So I want you to do this in a cluster 8, 10, 12, 15 cycles. In case if you require a break, you can take a break, just nominal, just recover and again proceed. So point is, the inhalation should help you recover by the activity of Uddiyan Kriya, which is done voluntarily, which is done intensely, which is done intensively. So the inhalation should help you recover, revamp, refresh, and become resourceful. So this inhalation is conditioned for exhalation. Otherwise, in the popular yoga, you condition the inhalation for inhalation. You condition the exhalation for exhalation. But here, understand this. You are not conditioning the inhalation for inhalation. You are conditioning the inhalation for ensuing exhalation to be capacitated, to be resourceful. So try to understand these dynamics. So the exhalation should be done with a flush and gush, but it will be not volume-wise complete. Volume-wise, it is close to normal, but it is done little sharper, it is done little thicker, and that should facilitate your Uddiyan. Now watch, as you are going to do successively. Listen carefully, are you able to experience this? One Uddiyan will be diaphragm generated, and the following Uddiyan will be pelvic generated. Then again, diaphragm generated, pelvic generated. Diaphragm generated, pelvic generated. It will be alternating between the two kinds of Uddiyan. Can you feel it? Can you testify, verify, register, and can you confirm? Because if you do in between normal breathing, then it will not happen. But when we are doing consecutively, find out one exhalation, Uddiyan stroke will come from diaphragm, following stroke will come from pelvis. Next one will come from diaphragm, the following will come from pelvis. So these are two kinds of Uddiyan which I want you to register. Uddiyan originated diaphragm originated Uddiyan and navel pelvis originated Uddiyan. Are you able to experience this? Are you able to confirm this? Are you able to verify, testify? So these are two kinds of Uddiyan from what we are doing here. Because of successive exhalative Uddiyan Kriya, not taking in between break, you will be able to do that. It can happen that way. So that's called diaphragmatic Uddiyan Kriya stroke and pelvic Uddiyan Kriya stroke. So watch, testify, verify, is it happening? Otherwise, Uddiyan is only deflating the abdomen, contracting the abdomen. But there are two kinds of contraction. One is diaphragm originated, that's called Patalodbhava Uddiyan, technically. The other one is called Kati Udbhava Uddiyan. So see, the education is coming from within. So exhalation will be sharper, flush type, but volume wise close to normal. However, you will try to complete your Uddiyan. Now let go. When you finish your cluster, let go. Now we will go for third kind of Uddiyan. Listen to that. But meanwhile, you can recover, refresh, revamp. The third kind of Uddiyan is that while you exhale, I want the whole plate of abdomen going to Uddiyan. Like abdominal rectangle is a plate, and that whole rectangle plate is going down. So it will be happening the same way in every Uddiyan, every exhalation. That whole belly will perpendicularly go down. Now, what you did was it was going down from diaphragmatic stroke and pelvic stroke. Abdomen was going down. Now, this is the third kind of Uddiyan where it will perpendicularly go down as if the plate is receding, descending. Abdominal plate, anterior abdominal plate is descending. Now you can embark upon it. Keep the breathing normal, exhalation thicker, normal volume, thicker velocity. And can you do that? That the whole abdomen is going down parallelly. The plate is as if descending, the whole plate. So this is neither diaphragmatic stroke nor pelvic stroke. Understand the third kind of Uddiyan Kriya. Now, even if you take a break, it can happen that way. Suppose you are taking a break, it will happen that it should happen that way. You don't. It is not mandatory that it should be consecutive exhalation. While in the earlier one, it was consecutive exhalation. Now that mandate is not necessary here. Only the whole abdomen should go down. Parallel. So have you understood the third Uddiyan Kriya, third kind of Uddiyan Kriya? Let go for a while. Once you finish your process, let go. You can release your legs and come up. You can untie the legs and you can come up. See, I've been telling you that Uddiyan is enormously important for pranayama. Classically, there is no inhalative, exhalative pranayama without Uddiyan. Now, in case of menstruating ladies, pregnant ladies, their Uddiyan can be mild. In case of menstruating ladies, pregnant ladies, or some pathological condition of the belly, such as had loose motions, diarrhea, etc., it should not be intensely done. However, the mannerism of Uddiyan is necessary even if you are menstruating and even if you are pregnant. So the women have to take recourse to milder form of Uddiyan. With regards to men, they also have to try both. You just can't, I will never get pregnant, I will never get menstruation, and therefore I can do intense. This is not done. So understand the whole spectrum of Uddiyan which I am trying to put across. Milder Uddiyan and intense Uddiyan. Because there are certain pranayamas where the breath is rarefied, where the breath is gentle, soft, thin, etc., etc. So gentler Uddiyan also has to be mastered. So I don't know whether I was successful. I said there are three kinds of Uddiyan in what you did today. One is Patalodbhava. That means generated by diaphragm. Katiyodbhava, generated by pelvis. That is one of the reasons why I said in the beginning, you are not in a class. This is not a class material. This is a material of education. The present world doesn't understand yoga as education. They say it is just practice, 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 become perfect. And then start teaching or keep practicing if you are not going to teach. So this is not a class matter. So therefore, you'll have to have patience to be in the sessions that I take. I'm giving educative session. But otherwise, the education is never at all on the horizon in our time yoga. It's all getting, taking, mastering, practicing, perfecting. Practice and become perfect. I don't want to add today. The other day I said in the class, I don't know, some stupid fellow, perverted fellow gave this idealism. Practice makes the man perfect. He fooled the world. Either he was stupid or he was perverted. Practice doesn't make the man perfect. Concept of man being perfect is totally different. It is gauged on character, conduct, principles that one practices, and the life, conduct of life, etc. The practice will make you perfect. If you are musician, you will become perfect musician. If you are violinist, perfect violinist. If you are guitarist, perfect guitarist. If you are drum player, perfect drum player. If you are carpenter, perfect carpenter. If you're a lawyer, perfect lawyer. Any vocation, profession, that becomes perfect. You don't become perfect. Man doesn't become perfect. I don't know how many millennia it will take for the world to realize what I'm saying today. I will be gone posthumously. Sometimes after 1,000 years, people will realize this is somebody has fooled the world or somebody was perverted and was driving the world. Go for perfection, you will become perfect. Go for perfection, you will become perfect. To go for perfection, you have to practice. Anyway. So the third one was abdomen perpendicularly going down. So it might not have come today, but back home, try to do it over 10 times, 100 times, and figure out, is it possible Patalodbhava, that is diaphragm originating stroke of Uddiyan, pelvic originating stroke of Uddiyan, which was alternated in the first exercise. Anyway, I'm not going to go further today. I'll just suggest it can be also transverse. Uddiyan stroke, right to left, right to left, right to left, or right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right. So this I'm only giving you something to imagine. And I've taken this in the class. Today I'm not going to take it. So there are several kinds of Uddiyans. So just now we have seen milder to intense. So there are so many grades between mild to intense. Mild, less mild, lesser and lesser mild, least mild, normal, hypernormal, intense, more and more intense, more and more intense. So there are so many Uddiyans which have to be mastered, which have to be in your practice. Now you all will think that Uddiyan Kriya is something of the abdomen. Now in the following part, we will try to understand, let's break this barrier that Uddiyan means of the abdomen. There are so many Uddiyan with Swara Kriya, Varna Kriya, enormous spectrum is available, for which I have initiated you into it. Swara Kriya, Varna Kriya, Uddiyan is going to be different. Mantra Kriya, Nama Kriya, Uddiyan is going to be different. So it's enormous spectrum that you must be aware of. Now, generally, you will believe your arms are not breathing exercise, breathological parts, which I have broken that ice, that your arm positions change your breath. Arms up, inhalation is one kind, then arms sideways, arms some other ways, relaxed arms, active arms, your inhalation, exhalations change. Today, I am trying to make you understand Uddiyan will change. Your Uddiyan changes because of your arm positions. So find out how far you can have that experience within the horizon or on the horizon, that you will say, yes, arm positions do contribute for your Uddiyan. It's not just belly. So therefore, you'll all lie down. For a change, go to Swastikasana. Lie down, whatever you want, with support, without support. Whatever we are doing, you should know you have to do all the ways back home. All the various ways that you know about should be there. No problem. This is one of the ways. I did not say, but you are doing one of the ways. Quickly settle down. Now all of you keep your arms formally like in Shavasana. So little angles to your arms. Shavasana arms. Now you will have a touch of even Prana Kriya. Now you will be doing the same normal breathing, voluntary exhalation, but thicker, and then Uddiyan, which you did earlier today. Now start. So consecutive cycles. Try to read the Uddiyan. Try to assess the Uddiyan, judge the Uddiyan, read the Uddiyan. With your arms in Shavasana formally, find out how is the Uddiyan. And you can take reports to also Swara Kriya, maybe A and U as a samples. So one exhalation A, one exhalation U, one exhalation A, one exhalation U. So you will know that how much the Prana Kriya contributes for your Uddiyan. Now, Prana Kriya is coming from oral system. Prana Kriya is coming from oral system. And the arms of Shavasana also there, contributing. Now, for a while, you will take the arms over the head, let go condition. And continue A and U. Let go conditions over the head, entwined elbow, arms or bent elbows over the head. And now figure out A and U. Is your Uddiyan changed? Because your exhalation has changed. Inhalation too has changed. And therefore the Uddiyan is also changed. So you are having only idea, your breathing changes by arm position. Now I am making you understand that your breathing changes and Uddiyan also changes. Can you have slightest clue of it? Are the changes within the horizon, inside the horizon, or at the horizon? Or they will be at least beyond the horizon. So they will be there, but you may not experience. So find out with the Shavasana arms, elbow to elbow, arms over the head. Ali, you are a pervert. Bent elbows over the head. Mushali, हात ताट करायला सांगितला का? ते सवय लागली हात ताट करायचा डोक्यावरला. Arms over the head, bent elbows. Find out. If you don't feel it today, it will be something that you will feel it after some sessions. 100 sessions, 50 sessions, 200 sessions, 500 sessions. You will get better and better clarity that your arms are Uddiyan organs. Your arms are Uddiyan organs as much as your legs are Uddiyan organs because you are in Swastikasana. Had you not been in Swastikasana, it would have been different. So your legs are Uddiyan organs, your arms are Uddiyan organs. For the following part, all of you extend and stretch your arms over the head. Intently, diligently, purposefully, find out, continue. A and U. Can you feel that Uddiyan is changing? You know your exhalation is changing, inhalation is changing. But we don't try to cognize or recognize that Uddiyan is changing. I want you to recognize that your Uddiyan is also changing. So your legs are Uddiyan organs, your arms are Uddiyan organs. You would not have got this Uddiyan in case if your arms were amputated and legs were amputated. Since our arms and legs are intact, we are able to avail of that. Because there can be a practitioner whose legs are amputated and arms are amputated. Yet he can be doing his yoga. But here, because you have your arms and legs, understand that's the chronological aspect. Any part is chronological organ. Any limb is chronological organ. So now you can for a while compare. Arms down in Shavasana, arms bent over the head, arms stretched over the head, arms sideways placed, not just kept, placed intently, diligently sideways. So find out whether the arms are changing your Uddiyan. So arms in 180 degrees from shoulder, right to left arm, arms over the head, arms Shavasana, bent elbows. Then relaxed, straight arms. They are not straight, but relaxed over the head. So elbow is not so much bent, but slightly bent. So all that is going to contribute for your Uddiyan. Don't be naive to think that it's only abdomen doing Uddiyan, abdomen doing Uddiyan, abdomen doing Uddiyan. So this is just for you to have that sample for experiences. Because yoga is educative process. It's not just doing process. I am not technically telling you much. The last one. All of you take the arms over the head. But there, I want you to catch your left wrist with the right hand. Left wrist with the right hand and pull that arm. Pull that left arm. And now do the Uddiyan. Grip your left wrist and pull it. So your left side chest is more longer than the right side chest. Okay? Left side lung is longer than right side lung. Left side trunk is longer than right side trunk. This is going to contribute for Uddiyan as much as it contributes for exhalations and inhalations. So intently pull the arms, that arm, left arm intently, diligently, extravagantly, seriously pull it up. Some of you have not understood. Right, correct. Now change the grip, change the grip. So other lung is extended, other chest is extended, other trunk is extended. So there will be a disparity between the right lung and left lung, right belly and left belly in your Uddiyan. Okay, let go and relax and come up. See, you cannot be very fanatic and dogmatic if you are a student of yoga. Otherwise, it has been because having a dogma that pranayam should be done only this way. Shavasana or sitting. Lie down this way or sit this way. So in education, there is more freedom, open architecture. If you are going to be a student of the subject, this is all allowed. I've never seen anybody doing Supta Virasana with the arms up, one arm pulled extra, as if there is a taboo. So you will have to be more liberal if you are a student of yoga. If you are a follower of a teacher, then you cannot be having this freedom. I don't know, should I say or should I not say? Even if I say, maybe you will misunderstand, mistake. I am and was not follower of Guruji. Whereas most of you are. What, Pachi? What, Virju? I'm telling you, quite expressly, I was not follower of Guruji. I was student of his yoga. I knew what all he did. Guruji was an experimenting character. He was not sticking to dogmas, which all the students are sticking to dogmas. And therefore, you are all followers of Guruji. I never was follower of Guruji. I knew that my material is totally different than his material. It is no point in becoming his follower. I learned his yoga. And therefore, many of them are critical about me, the senior Iyengar practitioners. They are critical about me. They have a grudge because of what I do. Now, you're all followers of Guruji. Does anyone know that Guruji did Kapal Bhati, did Agnisar? You have no idea because you only saw him do something when you are present, and he taught something, and then you took to that. So he was doing Kapalbhati, he was doing Agnisar, he was doing Navali, he was doing Uddiyan, etc., which I had seen. That was not a matter for him to teach. I cannot walk into primary school and teach postgraduate book on language, because none of the students qualified. Many things he did not teach. Not that he was holding back. He should not have taught, he therefore did not teach. But I know what he did. So none of you know, because he was in a cosmopolitan world, he was moving with people of different faith and different cultures, etc. Do you mean to say that he did not do Om in his pranayam? Did he teach you? Do you mean to say he did not do Gayatri in his pranayam? Did he teach you? Do you mean to say he did not use the Nama in pranayam? He did not teach. For different reasons, justifiable reasons, the students were not still qualified. Because all his students, once a week student, 4-day students in a year, what Pachi? 7-day student in a year, because he visited every year. So maybe he was four days in a place, 7 days in a place. So there were 4 days in a year students. There 7 days in a year students. Some of them, most of them were once in a week students. Many things cannot be taught. And therefore I gave up teaching. It's nearly 30 years I am not teaching. I said I should educate. Because he amongst his students, there were so many atheists, profanes. Therefore, he could not say so many things. So he taught so-called secular yoga. He was not practicing secular yoga in the sense we understand the word secular. I know what he did. काय राजर्षी किती वर्ष गुरुजींना पाहिलं? कपालभाती पाहिले का तुम्ही कधी? मग गुरुजी करत नव्हते म्हणणार तुम्ही. You don't see so many things of me. That doesn't give you a kind of a judgment that Prashant doesn't do it. You might have not seen me doing it. That doesn't mean I don't do it. So you saw what he did. तुम्ही गुरुजींकडे प्राणायाम शिकला ना राजलक्ष्मी कधीतरी? ओंकार घेतला, स्वरवर्ण घेतले, मंत्र घेतला, नाम घेतलं नाही. मग गुरुजीच्या सिस्टीम मध्ये नाही. बिकॉज ही टॉट cosmopolitan community, he could not do so many things. And moreover, they were once a week student, 4 days a year student, 7 days a year student. And therefore, I said he was the most unfortunate master teacher of the world. He did not get to openings. Anyway, there is inhalative Uddiyan Kriya. We did the exhalative. There is inhalative Uddiyan Kriya. Let me give you certain surprise elements which you will never imagine because you are not students of yoga. You think inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation. Is that right? It is possible. Exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, because that's why it is called pranayam. Suppose from India, I have to go to European country. I have to take the direction of northwest. Is that right? Because European countries are north, in the northern part and to the west. So if I go to London, I go westwards, northwestwards to London and come back to Mumbai east southwards. What, Birju? Is that right? Go to London, come back. Go to London, Mumbai, London, Mumbai, London, Mumbai, London. But the earth is round. It is possible that you don't have to change the direction. Proceed to London, proceed westward, proceed westward, proceed westward. You will come to Mumbai. Is that right? You don't have to come to east. You don't have to take a right about turn because the earth is round. So you will go northwest, 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 and then slowly proceed the same direction, come towards slightly south. So in the westerly direction, you can come back to Mumbai. You don't have to take to easterly direction at all. Because the earth is round. Whereas you all know that if you go to London, go west. Come back to Mumbai, go east. Go to London, west. Come to Mumbai, east. So we are going between west and east and west and not necessary. Marco Polo, you don't have to take a right about turn to be going London, Mumbai, London, Mumbai. You can go Mumbai, London, Mumbai without right about turn. Breathing is circular. So many things are probable because of circular breathing, rotary breathing. Because you all take commercial flights, they will itinerary and they will say it will be too much for you to go Mumbai, London, Mumbai, rather than Mumbai, London, Mumbai. So economically, you will always opt for that. But somebody going for a voyage like Thomas Cook, Marco Polo, money is not the matter. So they will go Mumbai, London, Mumbai. Because the breathing is also circular, there are so many fascinating processes. It is possible that you will have exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation completed. You don't have to go back and forth. Because you have the anterior and posterior because it's circular. So the breath breathing like a giant wheel between anterior and posterior. So you can go the anterior to posterior, and you can have two, 3, 4 cycles. Or even more cycles. So the yogi doesn't turn back in pranayama. So well, these are something for your fantasies, like your scientific fantasies, maybe yogic fantasies. Because we cannot not believe it is exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. However deep, however normal, however sharp, however rarefied, that's analog. Where is the ayama? Gati Vicheda is a marvelous concept. The concept should be understood, not just understand the word. Similarly, you have to do the exercise which is inhalative Uddiyan. Uddiyan Kriya with the inhalation. Because it is a mandate that pranayam Puraka Rechaka should have Uddiyan of some degree or the other, some magnitude or the other. Without Uddiyan, any inhalation exhalation is not pranayamic inhalation. For a while, lie down in Shavasana. We try to slightly explore the inhalative Uddiyan Kriya. Sorry, 1 minute, get up. 1 minute, get up. Another, get up. Another marvelous thing about inhalative Uddiyan, it is generated by exhalation. Understand this. Inhalative Uddiyan is generated by exhalation. Like one of the mystic poets had said, although we know that it's not a marvel for us. A mother can give birth to a child who is going to be potential husband. Mother can give birth to a child who is going to be potential mother. You don't require that the father should deliver potential husband and mother to deliver potential mother. Is that right? Mother will have male child and female child. So whether it is male child or female child, it will come from mother's womb. Because the role of the husband biologically is only seed. He only casts the seed, that's all. It is the mother's process. She is able to turn out a potential husband, potential father, and potential mother. Is it not a marvel? That a woman is able to turn out or deliver potential father and potential mother. Not that the mother has only a child, but the child can be potential father or potential mother. Whether it is a potential father, mother has to deliver. It's not only potential mother, mother will deliver. So don't think like you did exhalative Uddiyan, similarly it is inhalative Uddiyan. Whether it is inhalative Uddiyan or exhalative Uddiyan, it is exhalation generated Uddiyan. And therefore exhalation is mother of Uddiyan. Therefore, what is a precept for you is that toward the end of your exhalation, Uddiyan should be launched. And that Uddiyan should be carried forward for inhalative. Don't exhale and then start inhalation with Uddiyan. Uddiyan should be launched toward the end of your exhalation or along with the exhalation or at least towards the tailpiece of exhalation, and that it should itself be converted into inhalative Uddiyan. This is a unique aspect of inhalative Uddiyan. Otherwise, the analog you will think, oh, did you exhalative Uddiyan? Now inhalative Uddiyan. Exhale completely and start inhaling Uddyanically. This is not right. Without education, you will construe that way and you will proceed that way. So education tells you, no, your Uddiyan should be launched during the exhalative phase and that should be converted into inhalative phase. So inhalative Uddiyan is generated by exhalations in It's another sense of the term. Because earlier also I told you that your inhalation generates exhalation and Uddiyan. Now it is going to be inhalative Uddiyan. Exhalation is going to generate that Uddiyan. So the procedural aspect should be like that. Have you followed? So exhalation is like a mother who can deliver male and female child. Mother delivering both genders. So exhalation generating both. Because the life commences with exhalation. Many of the mothers might have not taken notice of it. They have delivered children. They do not know. Life commences with exhalation and ends with exhalation. You don't inhale and die. You exhale and die. When the cord is cut, the first thing the child does is exhales. It's not that the cord is cut and baby will inhale. No, it exhales. If it doesn't exhale, they hit on the back. It should cry. What's cry? Is to exhale. If the child doesn't cry, mother is not happy. Oh, my child did not cry at all. So happy birth. Mother will make it cry. Somebody will make it cry because the life starts outside the umbilical cord with exhalation. Anyway, lie down. In Shavasana, settle down, get prepared, get connected, get related. See that it is collective dynamics, composite dynamics, internal social, community activity. You don't do all that you think you are doing, they do it. Now, if you are a rock caliber, you will spearhead. You will be CEO. If you are proficient yogi, you will be participant. If you are unproficient yogi, you will be like a CEO of an enterprise. But if you are proficient, you will be one of the participants, like you are a shop floor labor in your pranayama. But if you are raw, you are CEO. Now, you can commence when you are prepared, you are all set. So, see that exhalation, toward the end of exhalation, Uddiyan is introduced, and that should smoothly roll over for inhalative Uddiyan. There should be no division. Exhalative Uddiyan itself should be rolling over to inhalative and inhalative Uddiyan. So that's one thing. Second thing, listen. I want you to do this in consecutive cycles. Therefore, listen carefully. You will exhale, bring the Uddiyan, continue Uddiyan inhalatively while you are inhaling. Then relax the Uddiyan and do the remainder of inhalation to recover, to get equipped, to get capacitated. Relax your Uddiyan of the diaphragm and belly and inhale un-Uddyanically, de-Uddyanically, and then again go to exhalation. And you should know that end of exhalation is going to launch the Uddiyan, which will roll over to inhalative Uddiyan. To the extent possible, you will do Uddiyanic inhalation. And then to do consecutive cycles, you will relax the Uddiyan, de-Uddiyan, de-Uddyanically inhale, bloat and puff and dilate the diaphragm, do the remainder of inhalation, equip yourself, capacitate yourself, and next exhalation proceed to bring in Uddiyan towards the tailpiece. And that should be smoothly rolling over to Uddiyanic inhalation. So Uddiyanic inhalation will be maybe 10%, 20%, 30%. The remaining will be non-Uddiyanic. Meanwhile, you have to recover. Meanwhile, you will capacitate. You will become resourceful. Because I'm not giving you in between recovery cycles. So as you become more and more proficient, your proportion will improve. as I now said, maybe 20-30% Uddiyanic and 70-80% non-Uddiyanic. So if you graduate, it will be 30-40% Uddiyanic and 60-70% non-Uddiyanic. Then maybe 50%, 50-50. Then maybe 60-40, maybe 30-40 as you become more and more proficient. So there is always a proportion between Uddiyanic phase of inhalation, non-Uddiyanic phase of inhalation, which can be also de-Uddiyanic phase of inhalation. You are allowed to do de-Uddiyanic inhalation as well. So that's a sign of raw condition. So you can do little deeper inhalation and you equip yourself, you capacitate yourself for that exhalation, which is linked with inhalation, Uddiyanic inhalation in the beginning. Hope you have understood what I put across. Whenever you need a break, you can take a break. But I want you to do that consecutively few cycles. So understand this exercise of inhalative Uddiyan, which is radically different than exhalative Uddiyan, because it is born out of exhalative Uddiyan. Like a boy is born out of mother, as much as a girl is born out of mother. That's why you must be familiar with the literature of yoga. Literature of yoga will tell you so many things which will never come to your idea at all. So this has to be, because this is not a natural way to breathe. Uddiyanic inhalation, Uddiyanic exhalation is not natural for us. But now in pranayama, we will have to naturalize it. It will take some weeks and months and years and decades to naturalize it. So figure out what is your proportion. Uddiyanic phase of inhalation, it is something maybe 10, 20, 30%. And the non-Uddiyanic, un-Uddiyanic is 70-80%. Allowed, because it's a raw condition. In the next exhalation, know that you are going to start your Uddiyan and inhalative Uddiyan. So inhalative Uddiyan is born out of exhalative Uddiyan. Know this, which is different than what you did earlier. Inhalative Uddiyan has to be born out of exhalative Uddiyan, and that too smoothly, a smooth rollover. Understand graphically how it is happening. So understand graphically your exhalation, Uddiyan of exhalation, roll over to inhalative Uddiyan, and then the non-Uddiyanic and un-Uddiyanic. Then again you start exhalation. So it's voluntary, normal, not necessarily deep. You don't have to go for deep exhalation and deep inhalation. Semi-deep. So you are learning this in Shavasana. It entails that you must learn this in Supta Virasana, Baddha Konasana, Matsyasana, with support, without support, etc. Different ways of support. So you have to take recourse to all those. So if you are doing a class and you think it is asset for you to be doing the class, that it was an asset that you did the class today, understand the liability because of the asset column, like in balance sheet. In balance sheet, asset and liability column should be equal. If your assets are 10 billion, liability will have to be 10 billion. You can't, that's why it is called balance sheet. It's not imbalance sheet. So many of you do attend the classes, but you don't identify the responsibilities and liabilities. Only attending a class is an asset. And therefore, many of you don't miss Many of you have fascination because it's an asset collection, but you don't identify the liability. Now this you can do in Prana Kriya. It will change. You did in Shavasana. Arms over will change. Arms sideways will change. Arms under the buttocks will change. As students, you must be liberal. It's an open architecture to be a student. To be a follower, it is absolutely closed architecture. You will do as you are taught. You will do as your teacher said. You have a teacher inside. You don't pay heed to the teacher inside who is more valuable than me. He is actually guiding. He is actually teaching you. I am only guiding you. So Swara Kriya, Varna Kriya, combination of your leg position, arm positions. So this is open architecture. Let go. Turn to the sides and come up. And therefore, many of you are convinced about it. That we are given every day you have to do practice. You will allocate 10-20% for pranayam and 70-80% for asanas. What, Biriju? What, Rajvi? So they are complacent. I do every day 1 hour, 45 minutes, half an hour I do pranayam, 45 minutes I do pranayam. Asan open-ended. If I have time, I will do more. Another thing which foreigners who really or Indians who encountered with Guruji, they only size asan practice. No one ever said, Guruji, we want to see your pranayam practice. Yoga means asana. That's the Amul advertisement. Guruji did yoga asana. When I understood that I must have open-ended scheme for pranayam, I should not just say half an hour every day without fail. Many people, students want them to be complimented. That I never miss my pranayam. Every day half an hour, I feel like kicking them. I never miss my pranayam. 35 minutes, 45 minutes, I never miss. I feel like kicking them. And asana open-ended, maybe sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 2 hours. When they come to Pune foreigners, 3, 4, 5 hours not sufficient. They linger and go on practicing asanas, postures, not asanas actually, postures. So they will stay in the hall for 3 hours, but will not allocate 3 hours for pranayam. When I realized that this is not justifiable, it is unjustifiable, I started allocating once in a week for pranayam. I would do pranayam on Fridays for 3.5, 4.5 hours, and then come to asana. So I won't have 4.5 hours to do asana in the morning. When I realized that it is not proper. Otherwise, people are taking pride. We never miss our yoga. Asana pranayam regular. What? Pranayam half an hour and asana open-ended. If possible, 2 hours. Time allows 3 hours. So my record pranayam at a stretch is 4.5 hours. So if you want to allocate, you can't get up at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning, which is our time, waking up time. People don't wake up until 7, 8. Let me tell you, before I come for my class at 7 o'clock, I will have finished my pranayam for at least 90 minutes before I come here at 7 o'clock. There are many teachers of yoga who don't even practice every day, maybe once in a week, once and twice a week, or thrice a week pranayam. They don't even practice asanas because they are teachers. They have no time to practice. They are little time to practice. So routine practice, some head balance, shoulder balance, because they are carrying out the message of Guruji, spread yoga, spread yoga, spread yoga. So actually they are building up their own status. It's not that they are serving Iyengar by teaching all over the world, teaching professional teacher to teach. Actually, they are trying to augment their prestige status. And they say, we are in servitude of Guruji. Anyway, did you understand the uniqueness of inhalative process than exhalative process with reference to Uddiyan? It must originate in exhalation. And that smooth rollover is important. Okay, now I want all of you to go for a sitting pranayam. Again, you will see I am very revolutionary teacher because I am a student. I am not revolutionary teacher. I am a student of yoga. I know what are the privileges of a student of yoga. Student of a person, you have no privileges. You have to fall in line with the teacher's line that you have taken. But to be a student of yoga is an open architecture. So you'll all be going to the wall, sit against the wall, against the column, have a rope from top, go to grills at the windows. And I want you to have your arms over the head, gripping some support. You take your bolster, don't have to take the mat. Have a rope overhead. Have a rope overhead or have a grill overhead. Go to windows as well. So I want your arms. No Iyengar teacher will teach sitting pranayam like this. What, Birju? Will you ever have courage to teach this? Arms down, hands down, shava pranayam. Like it's a figurative expression. Hands down, I did. Hands down, he did. What, Rajvi? Huh? Close your eyes. Hold the rope. So don't just hold the rope. I want your trunk to be pulled by the grip. I want your trunk to be pulled. So don't just have the arms up. Arms should pull your trunk up. The arm should pull your trunk up. Now, for a while, try to experience exhalative Uddiyan, not consecutive now. Exhalative Uddiyan, read it. You can have a couple of recovery cycles. For a while, if you want a break, you can take the hands down because too long you cannot be having the arms up and gripping and pulling you up. So you can have the arms down for a while. Again, take the arms up and learn the exhalative Uddiyan. How with the decompressed body, you will have Uddiyan. With extra latitudinal spaces in the trunk, how the Uddiyan comes. The body pulled up and then you are doing Uddiyan. So you are allowed to take the arms down, let go the grip. You cannot be relentlessly gripping. And also learn inhalative Uddiyan. with the decompressed body, diaphragm pulled up. Then find out how is the inhalative Uddiyan. How many of you know, if you have seen the book of anatomy, they explain respiration. Inhalative, diaphragm pulled down. Exhalative, diaphragm pushed up. Inhalative, diaphragm pulled down. Exhalative, diaphragm pushed up. The dome of the diaphragm pushed up. What, Raju, is that right? Now, with a constant pull, so there is no up and down movement of the diaphragm, or discouraged or restrained, and yet you can inhale and exhale. What, Birju, is that right? How do they show the respiration? Diaphragm kasं दाखवतात? Inhalation pull down, exhalation push up. Now here is no pull and push. Then how is the inhalation? How is the exhalation? So you can take a break if the arms are little fatigued, and you can again do it. Okay, let go the grip there. All of you interlock your fingers like Shirshasana and put the interlocked fingers over the crown of the head, not back of the head. Widen the elbows. Elbows widen. And now do similarly. Now you are not pulling, but the chest is up. Is that right? You are not pulling, but the chest is up. It's not going up and down with your breathing as it would happen in mechanical breathing. Now do the inhalation, Uddiyanic inhalation, intently, diligently, customized device, and then exhalation, similarly. So no Iyengar teacher will teach like this, because they are all students of Guruji, and none of you are students of yoga. While if you are students of yoga, you have this liberty. So Guruji used to say the sides of the lungs, storehouse of energy. Now, for him, it was storehouse, but now you can see that you can do something for the lateral walls of the chest because of the arm position. With arm down, hand down, you can't do it. Guruji could do it. Now watch how it is different between the swara kriya. A, U. So there is amantrak aspect. So start using the swara kriya and then find out how it changes. So suppose you had your arms amputated, you would not have got this advantage. Well, let go. Now take the hands behind you, interlock the fingers and squeeze the shoulders back. You can be a little away from the wall. Take the hands back, interlock fingers, shoulders back. Now, nobody teaches pranayam like this. None of the Iyengar teachers will certainly teach. They will say this is anti-Iyengar. Is that right, Pachi? Because you are never the students of yoga. Do you mean to say Guruji did not attempt this at all? Was a fanatic like you that arms in particular position and do pranayam? Now find out inhalative Uddiyan, exhalative Uddiyan, swara Uddiyan, swara kriya Uddiyan. So today we don't have space here. This can be done with horizontal arms also. That you can try on your own. Kept on some support, horizontal arms. So Guruji would suggest, sit against the trestle and keep your arms over the bar, or over the stand. Anyway, let go. See, you all have taken liberty in asana. Let me expose you. You are all in the habit of telling Guruji, Guruji, we are trying. I'm trying. You could never say, I'm not doing. I'm trying. When you are a very strong teacher, you can't say, I'm not doing. You will say, I'm trying. But how many of you are not experimenting after a few years? So when you say, I'm trying, it's an excuse. But when you are experimenting, it's a formalized process. Suppose you are not getting Virabhadrasana C. Were you not experimenting and only trying? When you had little hang of what is Virabhadrasana C, you were experimented. So hold the ring and pull back and do it. So you are experimenting, formally you are doing it. So you are using your own intelligence when you experimented. So do you know the difference between trying and experimenting? Trying is informal way, and more often it is an excuse that you are not doing it, but you are trying. So Guruji was belied by the students. Are you doing? Guruji, I am trying. Are you doing? I'm trying. It was just an excuse. But you experimented. When you are little familiar with it, when you had little hang of it, you were experimenting. And experimentation is more formal. To try, you don't need intelligence. You require organized intelligence to be experimenting. What, Rajvi? You require a schematized intelligence to really experiment. But trying, you can try, that's all. Even you can try by hook or crook. There is no way to experiment by hook or crook. You can try by hook or crook, but there is no way that you will experiment by hook or crook. But then there's the dogma, fanaticism. Pranayama means all the jnana mudra or arms down, and never arms sideways, never arms over the head. Guruji had free trafficking, and therefore in any position he could be doing, or in a prescribed position he could do it. Now you won't open your side lungs under the arms sideways. Why not do it? So no one practices pranayama, sitting pranayama with the arms sideways kept on a support. Always hands down. Always hands down. So when you have education, you get basis for experimentation. You need no formal education to try. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can try. Any Tom, Dick and Harry cannot experiment. What, Rajvi? You need some education. Then only you will be able to experiment. Not getting educated in chemistry, don't enter a chemical lab. You have to have education to be going into chemical lab. So to experiment, you need education. We try to experiment without education also. Anyway, thank God the time is up. Time is up for me to go. So thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Shubh Deepavali.
Pranam, sir.
Pranam, sir.
Pranam.